Welcome to the 2022 NADGT National Championships in Austin, Texas. This is here at Live Oak Brewery, and it's brought to you by Lone Star Discs, Gatekeeper Media, and filmed by Black Zombie Media out of Austin, Texas. I'm here today with Philo Brathwaite at Live Oak Brewing Company. We're here for an exciting Final Nine. Welcome, Philo.
Hey, nice to be with you, my man.
Yep, good to see you in person here at Live Oak. It was great to have you there, and I'm excited to get going.
Yeah, this Final Nine was something special. We got Zachary Nash out in front with a 4-stroke lead. 9 holes to take this one down, get himself that Pro Tour card. On the female side, we've got all these winners from other fields, other divisions in the event. Congratulations to all of them.
2022 National Amateur Disc Golf Championship presented by Lone Star Disc right here at Live Oak Brewery in Austin, Texas. Woo! This is your Mixed Pro Open Final 9. Teeing off first at -28 under par, representing Legit Disc Golf and Lone Star Discs. When he's not disc golfing,
a lot of good golfers out here this week, Dave. Aidan Scott, Xaelen Nash,
Zachary
Corbin
Nash.
out there doing some work. They're going to have some work to do to catch up with Zachary Nash. 4-stroke lead coming into the final 9 holes.
Yep. This hole right here, it plays par 4, about 485 feet or so. And you have to get through this first tunnel that you see he's trying to hit, and then the basket is out on the left, surrounded by OB.
Yeah.
What a drive.
Good shot there, yeah. He's going to be up the fairway. Going to have a pretty straight shot into the green.
Being off next at -24
Up next, Philo, we have Aidan Scott. He has been a terror in the amateur disc golf scene, making the finals and Worlds and different major events, and winning many pro events, trying to turn pro here and win the tour card. He was probably favored coming in with a rating of 1,008.
That's a nice number.
I thought he will make a run on this Final 9, I believe. So
it's never over till it's over, right, Dave?
yeah, a little windy, huh?
It was a little breezy out there that day. It wasn't super windy, but enough to make you think about things. And unfortunately, he's going to catch one of those early limbs and get shot down. Long carry onto the green.
He looked a little nervous. I was there, standing next to him.
With a -24 as well.
That's to be expected on a Final 9, playing for a Tour Championship card and taking down this event. Gotta be a little anxious, right?
Yeah. And he's been wanting it for a long time. Up next, we have Xaelen Nash. No relation to the leader, but from California. Also been playing juniors for a few years and now trying to take that step up into the pro ranks.
He was up on top of the leaderboard earlier on in the event, so he hung around all week long to find himself here on this Final 9 card.
He's leaked that out a bit to the right, but he might get through.
Yeah, he's going to punch through the canopy there and be out in the open, straight ahead, approach shot onto the green.
Position for our Mixed Pro Open card. -19. He wants to thank his friends and family and point out that at 23, he is the oldest player on the card from Norman, Oklahoma. This is Corbin Milchesky.
I would agree with that. It's always fun to be on a camera card, especially earlier on in your career, especially these days when there's so much media going on. It's nice to get your name out there in the mix. This gets tugged off to the right a little bit, gonna bash the canopy and drop. Did get at least to the opening, so he's gonna see the green. Let's see what he's got to do, got to work with here.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize from looking at it at home how tight these gaps are, and there's a lot of low-hanging branches that make it difficult. And with the OB surrounding the green, it's a difficult approach, I'd say.
Yeah, he took that patent pending stance as well. Made his way up to the green. Probably gonna have a 40, 50 footer left. And that's right where you'd like to be, almost skipping that in. Xaelen Nash Nice second shot.
Nice Lone Star shot out there. Their van right behind the green. Good parking job there. Big sponsor of the event. We got to thank them. We look forward to working with them in Texas for years to come.
Aidan trying to work his way onto the green and does so safely inside circle one.
Well, let's see. He's put a little pressure.
Oh, that's too smooth and buttery for any pressure to be applied to Mr. Zachary Nash. Under the bucket, that's going to be a drop-in birdie.
A jumper to start, Philo. That's pretty nice.
Corbin pointing it out to the gallery. Take a little rewind.
Instant replay. Beautiful.
Feeling the flow early. Got a bit of work to catch up to Mr. Zachary Nash, but nice birdie to get things going. Swing it over to Xaelen Nash for his birdie putt. Able to slide that one home.
Yeah, what I find interesting, Philo, is, we were here around these gentlemen all week, and when you look at them, these are the future. They're not coming from amateur to pro. These 4 kids all played junior for multiple years and took one step into advanced and right to pro. So there's not this long like me and you where we played advanced for many years. It's actually,
I played advanced for 1 year, Dave. Thanks.
1 year, but you know what I mean, right?
I know what you're trying to say, my man. It used to be a much slower process to climb the ladder. These guys obviously starting their careers much younger than maybe some of the more veteran pros that you may be accustomed to watching watching these days. Most of those guys just kind of jumped right in. Not a lot of juniors experience, but with the growth of the sport over the last 10 or 15 years, you're seeing this younger generation really able to take their time and work their way up the ranks as juniors and youths into their adolescence and early adulthood. And yeah, man, it seems by the time they get right around here, 19, 20 years old, they're ready to rock and roll.
You got me, Philo.
Sometimes even younger, 17, 16, right?
Yep, you got me. I was 2 years in advance. Well, we're now on hole 2. It's a long par 4. This basket sits on a cliff. If you go long over this cliff, you can't even get your disc back. You're not even allowed to go down there. It's so steep.
Really?
Yeah.
This is definitely a 2-part shot. You're going to have to get yourself into the fairway. Not a whole lot of OB to contend with, except for on the right side. Tons of space out here in the middle. Pretty routine chip shot into the green if you can get yourself 350 into the fairway. Workout for Mr. Scott. Going to the flex Annie.
It only plays 540. But it is got a tough angle. You got to get around these trees. Some people I thought would play the big Anheuser or the slot, but it seems like they all want to play the big Anheuser, huh?
I think with the way the wind was blowing, kind of gives the disc an opportunity to fly a little more. Not a lot of elevation available on the low right side on the slot. And it does bring in that OB on the right side. All the space really to attack the green is going to be from the left.
Oh, he took the slot. You see that?
He's going to need it to hyzer out and get back towards the center. Look at that shot. That's beautiful.
Yeah. While they're walking.
From there.
So I was saying about the juniors, like you were talking about, coming up quicker. You've been around Europe a lot. That's basically how it is in Europe. They went straight from juniors to pro. I think we're going to start seeing that here in the U.S.
I think so too, Dave. The last few years we've been seeing a lot of these young pros just barely getting out of high school that seem to have, gone through the ropes already. High schoolers, and by the time they're graduating, they're ready to compete on the pro tour. It's just not something, at least from what I'm accustomed to, it just doesn't seem normal. But I think it's going to start to become so.
Yeah, like Europe set that precedent. There was a first kind of error out of Aidan for pressing. That wasn't a very good opportunity for him. He's going to give Mr. Nash a chance to get a stroke further ahead.
Yeah, he is. Definitely want to keep the pace. Yeah, he's just.
Looks like he's just played it safe, putting the pressure on Aidan. I thought he'd give that a run, but that cliff is strong back there.
And Aidan is not going to be too stoked with that that effort there. Gonna slide past. Gonna have to get this one to go home to keep it to a 1-stroke deficit on this hole.
Well, the experience is showing that he can make those now. When I was at his point, those were tough to make, the pressure, but he's had a lot of experience in big tournaments. I
don't think those putts ever really get any easier, Dave. I think when the situation is, up at its highest and you're playing for a championship, and all 25-footers get you thinking a little bit.
Yep, I think that's where all that traveling his family let him do and all that taking it to the next level stuff. I've seen him trying to take that next step for about 2-3 years. He's been playing on the tour, and he's had this targeted for a long time. I really thought he was the true favorite coming in, but Zachary Nash is not here to mess around.
No, Zachary's played a really strong event to get to this point, and he seems to be on cruise control already early on in this final 9. Did a fantastic job over on hole 1, getting himself in position. Little chip shot with the sidearm tap in. Now looks like he set himself up nicely again for another birdie.
Yep, now he's up by 5, and they're headed to their first par 3, Philo. It's 392. It's hard to see from the tee. It goes around the backside of these trees that you'll see the drone go. And it finishes kind of cool through the keg towers as kind of a gate that the brewery has set up on their course here.
Yeah, I like that. The Live Oak Brewing cans up there on the green, kind of shaping things up. It really did seem like the best play here is to go up and over. Not too much in that middle gap. You need a really big skip and a lot of limbs to contend with.
Yeah, it looks to play, in my mind, probably over the top 440, maybe. If you hit that gap at 392 and turn that corner, that's a Paul McBeth level shot, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a lot of speed to get through that low ceiling and get that forward skip to get up to the towers over there. That's right around Circle's Edge, but these guys are taking the high route, and that looks like 2 good shots in a row, Dave.
Yeah, they're pushing. Let's see if Aidan here can bounce back. He is lining up, looks like to go over the top really wide. He has a lot of power.
Oh, he went right down the middle, and he instantly dropped his head. Wasn't too thrilled with that. Does bash through. It's still going to be some 80, 90 feet from the target.
That's going to be another chance for Nash to pull out further and kind of start putting this out of distance, out of view, maybe.
Out of reach, yeah. I mean, after, you got 5 or 6 strokes and you've already played 3 holes, it's pretty much a wrap at that point, unless if Zachary starts having some issues.
And that's what we'll find out. If he's ready to take that step to pro level, he'll be able to just calmly walk it in. If he's not, he'll start to feel that pressure and know that he needs more time.
Unfortunately, Aidan unable to connect from range. We'll see where Zachary and Corbin's discs have come to rest. And would you look at that? Zachary Nash inside circle 1, gonna slide that in for another one, Dave. They calling this a par 4? He just make an eagle?
Yeah, they call it a par 4 because it was hard to make the corner. I would say it's a par 3. We didn't want to mess with their pars, but it's definitely a par 3, 392, reachable hole. But for most players in the field, this is for all amateurs in the field, it played as a par 4. But for these guys, they're taking that next step. It clearly played as a par 3.
Xaelen Nash will be tapping in for his par. That was a nice approach shot. After the drive came up a bit short.
So we can see that it looks like Aidan is going to, let it slip away here, going down by 7. But does he have the maturity to hold himself well and, keep playing and maintain second place? That's the question.
Got to do it.
The two of us are not so different. We know that success is when opportunity meets preparation. So we prepare with equipment selection, form, timing, release, and perfecting our execution. Because at the end of the day, it's all about that feeling. The course may look different, but the feeling is the same.
That was nice seeing the Storm bowling. It was nice bringing in someone from outside the sport into disc golf. I always thought that bowling and disc golf were paired. Judging depth spin, very close related. And I think they could be a sport that cross over with each other. What do you think, Violet?
Yeah, there's some similarities, I guess, when you think about spin, but they're inside, controlled environment. We're out here, the wind's blowing. These guys are trying to dissect lines through trees instead of on some hardwood. Yeah, this is a bit different.
But I feel like
this is a really fun shot here.
Yeah, 315 into the green here.
Yeah, Xaelen Nash just drops a dime on this one. He was having no problems in this final 9 on cruise control. Let's see if any of these other guys can make a run, make a push, maybe get a couple of highlight plays in there. Unfortunately, Corbin's going to come up early with the sidearm flare. It's a little skinnier than what you would think for something so overstable. This is a very straight to neutral type of a shot. Don't want to rip over on it too hard, and there's Aidan Scott showing up.
Yeah, he needed that. I mean, he's tied with Xaelen now. That's a big shot. Give him the replay because he deserved it. But that's a big shot for him to put the pressure back on Xaelen, saying, hey, I may not have a chance to win, but I'm going to get that tour card, at least get to 3 events next year.
Xaelen on the box, going to the sidearm. There we go. Pushes it out there a little wider. Nice little flare skip, and that'll be inside circle 1.
It's going to be a putt off.
Here's where Corbin ends up. Old school frisbee toss around the corner there. Nice approach. Should be able to get that up and in.
All birdies and an eagle.
Yes, sir. He's checking all the boxes here, Dave.
Yeah, I think, his confidence level is so high right now. I think being from Texas, playing in the wind, the terrain, he lives, used to this. I think it's just too much for anybody to catch him. He built it all week, and I think we'll see him on tour next year.
There we go. Xaelen able to capitalize, collects a birdie, bringing him to 27 under for the event, 3 under for this final 9. Aidan, much needed birdie putt here. There we go.
No problem. Tell you, this next hole coming up, Philo, really cool hole. I don't know if you got a chance to get out and play Live Oak Brewery when you were in town, but
I did get to play some holes. I actually played the whole final 9 after they played, and then a little bit on Sunday after the clinics for all the volunteers. So yeah, this was a good one, man. Nice, long, slow turnover out the gate. There isn't too much in the way of OB, except for off to the right. Very, very strong right. So if you're trying to make that Anheuser out the gate and you rip over on it too hard, there is a little bit of trouble. Basket is situated nicely up on that mogul back there. A little bit of space to work with on all angles. That's about as buttery as it's going to get.
is he going to really park it?
Dave.
417 just parked. And it looks like he's not
so
even
smooth.
throwing. Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. Very effortless.
that's what I'm saying, Philo. This next generation, that's why we used to call it the Next Generation Tour originally. This next generation, people like you
It's a
and
different
I,
breed of athlete. Yeah.
dime a dozen now.
It's a different breed of athlete. It's what we're seeing, Dave. They're not raw power throwers like we used to need to be back in the day to get the disc to move. It seems like, man, their action and the smoothness in their technique, and the disc just boom takes off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot
shot
of people,
there.
a lot of people have been talking about Zachary Nash, and that's all they can say is it looks like he doesn't throw it, but it goes further than anybody they've seen. So that's what you hear about all the young talent nowadays. And like you said, there's just something different about growing up building the muscles than learning when you're 17.
Or 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference. Corbin gets a little off the grid, fades out a bit hard. Xaelen from the fairway. Just played a little bump and grind into the hill, and that's beautiful. Another tap-in birdie for Xaelen.
Aidan needing to get up and down to maintain the pace. No issues.
Not a problem. I really like to see how most of these guys are going, back and forth from the sidearm to the backhand. Like they've just got all the tools that they need to go out on tour and survive, and obviously compete well at this event.
That's funny you say that because, think about when we were playing. If someone started throwing a lot of sidearms, we knew we would beat them, right? Now it means that
sometimes, most of the time, yeah, they weren't the most consistent or the most lethal players at the time. It was definitely a backhand dominant game, and Zachary continues to put on a show, dropping a legit eagle this time because that's a lengthy par 3 in my opinion. 417 with that dog leg. What a shot.
I'd say it's over already.
I mean, that's a lot of strokes for just a few holes left. He is just on absolute cruise control. Haven't seen him blink an eye, bat an eye. He's just been totally composed and relaxed. And after he smacked the competition in the mouth those first 3 holes, really just no pressure left for him, right? I mean, they're going to have to do some special things to catch him.
Yeah. Well, we do have a nice battle for a second, though, at 27 under.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
All right, we're back, Philo, here at our 247 par 3. This is our Furman hole. I tried something different this year.
Yes,
I started
was.
put some CTPs, some large CTPs just for Final 9 competitors to make it more interesting. So they're playing for a $2,500 generator on this hole. So.
Just a little chip shot too, especially if you've got a sidearm blind basket, but you know where it is. Nice mature oak tree out there to aim for, and a little ground play, and you could be walking out of here. Look at that fast skip.
Do you have one of those little Furmans for your van?
No.
We got to get
My
you
old
one.
school van. Yeah, I need to figure out something with this van.
All right, another good run at it. That's pretty close. I wonder if that's a contender.
Pretty close. You see that white flag over there? That's the CTP mark.
Yep, it's being held by the Canadian Masters player who took down the Masters.
Xaelen also going to the sidearm, little flare skip. That'll work nicely. Never too late for some fireworks, right? Corbin trying to go to the sidearm, get a little flare skip into the basket.
Can you imagine in our time, Philo, seeing this hole where nobody threw a backhand?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, there were sidearm players back in the early thousands. There weren't many, but there were still some, and obviously it was some of those players' tool of choice. Obviously, there's guys like Avery Jenkins that utilized it, but his backhand game was so dominant. Only if the hole was completely lefty friendly would you see him go to it. Obviously, Nate Sexton's been a predominantly sidearm player his whole career.
Yeah, they started. I would say around the Sexton, Barsby, when Barsby made his comeback into disc golf, and Sexton started to show up. I think that's when we started to see a lot more sidearm players. Looks like none of them got the CTP, so the Canadian will hold on to the CTP, winning the Furman. Let me tell you who that was, Philo. I have it right here in front of me.
While you do that, Xaelen Nash is going to bash in a birdie putt. Trying to make this second place race off here with Aidan Scott interesting. These two going back and forth while Zachary Nash is out in front by a healthy lead.
I believe the Furman went to Jason the. He was the winner from Canada.
Well, congratulations to Jason from Canada for winning yourself a generator. It's a pretty cool prize, especially if you're a traveling disc golfer. It's always nice to have some power.
Yep. All right, they're headed to the 7th hole. Tell you guys a funny story while we're bringing this hole up. Earlier, we were putting everything together. You see that berm right there? We got our truck stuck there, and we couldn't move it. We almost didn't have the final 9. Shout out to Thomas Veal and his wife, Melissa Veal. They were helping us put it together, and he got his truck stuck, but we got it pulled out by Jeremy Richards from Houston. Thank God. So the final 9 did continue.
That was an aggressive rip there from Zachary. There is some OB along that right side. You may not have seen it with the flyover, but about halfway down the fairway after those oak trees along the right side, you'll see right before that hump, actually, the OB really starts to kick in on that right side. And up along the left side as well. There's a couple of spaces you really don't want to end up here. And that's burned over pretty badly. That is not going to recover. That's heading into the hazard. Out of bounds.
Yeah. That's going to be tough now. That puts a little pressure on here. Xaelen could pull himself into second place.
Just got to stay safe, right? Don't have to be greedy. Going for a little hyzer to flip, and it doesn't quite flip up fast enough. But did you see that? Nice little nip of the tree there. Keeps him in the fairway and a nice look into the green.
Corbin, like you said, in show mode. Let's see if he can put something exciting in the air.
Oh, he definitely got a hold of that one. That was a beautiful hyzer flip up, but unfortunately, I believe he did end up out of bounds off on the left side. Xaelen from the nice break off the tree fires that into the green. He's going to leave himself with a short birdie putt.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out here while we're waiting for our leader here to throw another birdie opportunity to Live Oak Brewery for putting this together. The course looks beautiful. Thanks to all the staff and volunteers throughout the week at all the different courses for making it possible. And thanks to all of our sponsors. You'll see them in the commercials and on the signs. Support those that support disc golf so we can keep doing this and we can bring in people like Philo year after year to highlight these future superstars.
Aidan Scott fires one into the green. He's going to keep that battle between Xaelen Nash alive. Back and forth these two go, and you can see just how close that was for Corbin. So close to having an eagle putt. Might not have been the best one at that with all those trees in the way, but still fantastic effort. Going to the thumber, trying to get up and over into the green, and a little bit of cabbage extra work for him to make par.
Yeah, it's tough. These greens are really surrounded with these live oaks, and they really drape down. And those of you not from Texas, they do not let you through. If you hit one little branch on a live oak, it just springboards you back. You do not cut through it. To the 8th hole, Philo. This is also a CTP from Storm Bowling. They're giving a full bowling professional ball setup, drill, and everything for those that get the closest shot on this all week. Another great donation from our sponsors.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep, 238-foot par 3. Kind of a hidden teeing area down here in the lower tier. I actually enjoy holes like this where you can't really see it, but you can make the shot.
Of course, yeah, this is a nice little way to get closer to the finishing here of this final 9. Little chip shot, just never know when you play final 9 where things might be, and a nice little hole like this gives everybody an opportunity to get a stroke or to tense up and miss one. So Zachary Nash continuing to cruise right along up there on the green. You saw Xaelen Nash looking pretty good. Here's Aidan Scott on the box.
Yeah, with that circle 4 he took, he's down 1 now. And for second.
Yeah, he is. That's right. He did make circle 4 on the previous hole. Out of bounds off the tee and opened the door for Xaelen to grab a stroke on him. Corbin with the sidearm. Still trying to press. Still got an opportunity to get the gallery roaring.
And he's going to love it when he comes around the corner and everybody's cheering. It's a nice feeling. All right, here we go.
Big putt for Xaelen.
Oh, he stepped up to
keep the one-stroke advantage.
I think it's a big deal if Xaelen can come back and hold off Aidan Scott, with Aidan being favored coming into the event, having, 10 or 15 point rating gap on most of these players. I think it's quite impressive to see a junior out of California step up and be able to beat Aidan. So.
Well, you know how they say in golf and in sports in general, man, any given Sunday, right, or Saturday for these guys, you just never know, man, when it's going to be your day. Step up onto the course, try to bring your best stuff, and not always the favorite's going to win.
I like that Aidan kid, though. I mean, he didn't bring it right now. He's falling into third right now, but he is going to be something. I like that kid, and you can see even down by, 6, 7, 8 strokes, he still has that passion, and I think we will
you don't see any quit in him, that's for sure, Dave.
Oh, it looks like we're going to go to the FPO playoff between Candice Burge and Emily, I believe.
Yeah, these two ladies were in a heated battle on the FPO side. Candice Burge somehow was able to sneak her way into some extra holes on the very last hole of her round.
Well, yeah, if you didn't see it on DGN, she basically
go watch it. It was insane.
Yeah, she missed the green twice. Candice missed it once, and they exactly tied somehow, taking it, I believe, an 8 and a 6, or 8 and a 5.
Oh, they're showing it to you right now.
Here it is.
Candice trying to get onto the green. Bounces it off the bottom of the pole.
And here she is trying
right here. This is where things started to get interesting for Emily. She had a few opportunities here to ice this thing. Came into the final hole with, I believe, a 2 or 3 stroke advantage. If it hadn't been for that pole, that might have been it right there.
Yep, I think she takes an 8 here.
Green on the backside. Mm-hmm.
And the way we designed the hole was that you could fly it and take a drop, but players were trying to pin it, and that was causing them to rethrow. And you'll see when we get to the
There's another little bubble, too, a little further around the corner that she probably could have utilized as well to have an easier up and down. But sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't always explore all your options. So these two ladies end up tied, going to sudden death.
And, she is the AM Women's National Champion, and Mrs. Burge is the AM Women's World Champion. So they're basically, this separates them to say who is the best amateur girl of the year, I would say.
If you were watching any of the coverage from earlier in the week, Cadence was expressing how this was her worst event last year. How badly she wanted to come back and try to take this one down after her poor performance the last time around.
And I need to apologize, Philo. You're right. I'm sorry. I keep saying Candice because my mother's name was Candice, but it is Cadence Burge. And I should know that because her father,
Cadence
Larry,
Burge,
is a big part of the staff here at NADGT and always has been a part of the staff and a tournament director. So, again, I'm sorry, Cadence. I know it's Cadence. I just got excited because the playoff's so exciting.
Well, this is a big putt right here to keep the playoff alive. All 25-footers mean so much. Able to send that one to the bottom of the bucket. This is going to continue on for another hole.
Yeah, I think Emily thought she might have had it. The wind was kind of brisk there at that moment. You can't tell on the tape. And that was a much-needed, difficult putt.
Back to hole 2.
And these holes really play as par fours for the ladies. Really good par fours. As
Absolutely. Absolutely, especially with the wind blowing around. That's a nice drive there from Emily. That should put a little pressure back on Cadence now. Looked like she'd whacked a tree. Yep, she's a little back.
I kind of like this. This kind of battle with two champions kind of creates a rivalry, that they could carry into the professional level. So
that's a nice looking shot there. Once again, these two ladies matching shots back and forth all throughout this final 9 and now into the extra holes in the playoff. Rangy putt here. This could do it. Oh, just didn't give it the want. Opportunity here for Cadence to win. Oh, that's not for the win, right? They're both tied because that was for the tie. That's right, because they both had some early hits.
Yeah, it was tough to see in the video.
But par. I thought that was for the win. I am mistaken. They're going to the next hole.
Everybody thought Cadence was going to lose on that hole, and Emily left the door open again. Emily can't seem to close her out this weekend.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be. She had her chances earlier on in the final. Getting to that last hole, she had a couple opportunities to ice this thing. And unfortunately, giving Cadence here another opportunity to.
There's going to be another opportunity for Emily here again. Can she can just close it?
Oh, man, those live oaks are so brutal. Like you said, man, you catch any of that, it takes so much speed off.
And she still had the
their opportunity. She still did. Both ladies, another opportunity to take this one down and unable to capitalize. That's a nice comeback putt, though.
Though, sometimes when you're playing somebody of your equal skill level and you guys are battling like this, you both miss the same things, you both make the same things, and, it's who can stick with it mentally. You see Cadence here, she's getting a little down on herself. Well, looks like we're going to clip back here to the
MPO
final ninth hole here. Here it is. This is the Xaelen to maintain his one-stroke lead on second place. This is that island hole we're talking about. You think they'll play it around the corner, or are they going to try to cut the corner too, Philo?
Oh, they're all going for that long bubble. It's about 420 or so, 430 to get over these two little moguls up on the hill. And if you get it far enough, you'll have a straight shot straight down onto the green, and that is ideal right there, Dave.
Yeah, that's why I wanted people to throw it. It seems like most of them tried to cut the corner, but that kid can't miss. I think you could put the basket anywhere right now, and you could just say, birdie.
Yep. He was running this one down. He was touching them all, even with the eagle.
So it looks like Aidan will have to get in position to make a throw-in.
That's a nice shot as well. He's matching them. They're about 15 feet apart.
At least he has a chance to throw it in for the second place, and there's no chance to drop further than third, so he's got to do it.
This is true.
I think the difference in payout is about $3,000.
Wow, that's a huge jump.
Yep, between second and third. And an extra couple events on the Disc Golf Pro Tour sponsorship exemption list.
Big time play here for Aidan. If he can get this onto the green, get it to stick. No, throws it into the live oak limbs, and that is going to hit and fall down out of bounds. Opportunity here for Xaelen to put this one away. Second place, Spikeiser up and over the top. That's going to be a green flag, Dave.
California boy came through. His friends are going to be excited when he gets back to Cali and tell him that, hey, next year you're going to see me on the Pro Tour. That's kind of exciting. And another birdie. The leader just can't miss. I mean, like I said, just put it on the scorecard. I think that's a birdie or an eagle on every single hole.
Well, he did have one par, I believe. But that eagle made up for it, so he's going to touch them all, and there's a nice approach there from Corbin to get onto the green. To wrap things up.
Well, we'll see more of Aidan. Nice finish at third place. I mean, I think he should be proud. It's a long week, and he now is officially pro. He took the money, and he said we'll see him next year on the Pro Tour. He is not declining. But Xaelen,
Congratulations to Xaelen, second place. Nice way to fight and grind his way into that position here in the final 9.
I don't believe he accepted the money, though. I believe that Xaelen is considering staying chance to win maybe the AM Worlds. Keeping his status. But he's going to be on the Pro Tour playing as amateur status.
Very, very cool.
And there he is. Congrats to our winner, Zachary Nash. Congratulations. Our new champion, walked it in handily. He will be on the Pro Tour, all events next year. So we will see him. Brought to you by Zanfel. Thank you to Zanfel for paying all of their entry fees and sponsoring those Pro Tour cards of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And again, congratulations. Playing out of Pico, Texas. Our winner again, Zachary Nash.
An hour outside of Waco.
Yep, 37 under. I mean, these scores every year, they just keep getting stronger and stronger. I think when Klein won, it was 30 under. And then when Growth won last year, it was 32 under, and now 37. So.
How's it feel, Zachary?
It feels great. It's been a long week, a lot of high pressure stuff. It feels good to be able to finally put in the last putt.
Yeah, it finished solid. That whole final 9 seemed good.
Yes, sir. I did not play that easy in practice.
How you doing?
It is contract time, and Zachary Nash has just earned himself, hopefully, a really nice contract to get his career started. Taking down this one here in the final 9. Your results: Zachary Nash, 37 under, wipes the board clean. Eagles and birdies all across. 1 par.
And we didn't see the rest of the women's playoff, but Cadence Burge, the AM World Champion, she did take it down on the 5th hole, I believe it was, Philo?
She did.
So congratulations to Cadence Burge for winning the AM Worlds and the NADGT Championships. She will be on tour next year, but we'll also see Emily Yale, who got herself 3 spots on the tour and accepted the cash. We'll see you next year, and we'll bring you the future of the sport.